This video is going to cover question 2, part C here from the 2022 AP Calculus AB free response section calculator required portion of the test. So I cover parts A and B in a previous videos, and I'll cover part D in a video as well. So all four of these are going to have their own separate video. So Part C here is talking to us about the region enclosed by the graphs of f and g, which we've talked about in these previous videos, is the base of a solid. And what we're trying to do is use cross sections of the solid are taken that are perpendicular to the x-axis, and they're telling us, most importantly here, that those things are squares. And what they want out of us is they want us to find the volume of that solid. This is a classic cross-sectional area volume setup. So this is an integral setup, and the integral setup on this is going to look like the integral from A to B of whatever your area formula is, whatever the area formula that makes up these cross sections, dx. So the good news for us on this is we know the A and the B. The A is our lower bound. That's going to be the -2 that we were given for free here. The B is our upper bound, and the B we found by calculating an intersect. That was back on part A of this question. If you need to go back and see the calc intersect that we did to find this, you can go watch the video from part A. But know that we found B in part A, and B was equal to 0.781975. Now what we have to do on this problem, the key to any of these cross-sectional area problems is coming up with our area equation. Well, they told us that first and foremost, we know that the area that we're looking for here is a square. So our area formula needs to be a square. And the area of a square is, base times height, but normally what they say is they call it side squared. So what we need to do is figure out a formula for our side. Well, our side is this gap here that we've been talking about. It's this distance between the top equation and the bottom equation. The top equation, again, if you need to go back and look, we found that was our f of x equation, and the bottom equation was going to be our g of x equation. So to get that gap in between these things, the distance between f of x and g of x, we called that h of x back on part B here. But the formula for this would have been, and we'll just call it a side equation on this one. So our side here is going to be top minus bottom, f of x minus, in parentheses always, that g of x equation. So our f of x is the natural log of x plus 3 minus our g of x is x to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd, again, all in parentheses. And that's one side of our square. So to create our full area equation, we just need to do side squared. So we take the one side that we know, this distance between these two things, and we put that into here, and then we're going to square it. Again, they make these things sound so crazy, I feel like, the way the language comes. It's perpendicular, blah, blah, blah. It's this gap. It's always this gap in between here. That has to be your side. And you're always going to find these things by just sort of doing this top minus bottom move that gets you that distance between two equations. So then, now that we've got that area formula, we basically have everything we need to put together our integral. And then, lucky for us, this is a calculator required section, so once we know that, we're just going to be shoving this into the calculator and getting our answer out pretty quick here. So we're going to do the integral from a lower bound, our lower bound is -2, to our upper bound. Again, we found that by calculating the intersect back on part A of this question, 0.781975. And now we plug in the area equation we just had. So this is going to be the natural log of x plus 3 minus x to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd, and then all of that squared dx. And then we're just going to do this in the calculator. So in y1, we're going to put that full equation right there. So this is going to be the natural log of x plus 3 minus parentheses x plus 4 plus 2x to the 3rd. Close it again, and square that whole thing. So that's step 1. Put that into your calculator. Step 2 out of here is we're now going to go ahead and graph this, and we're going to calc an integral again, which we did previously. We're going to do a second calc, and in that calc menu we're going to choose the number 7 option, which is integral of f of x dx. The calculator is going to ask us a handful of questions real fast, and then at the bottom of the screen, once we answer them, it's going to tell us the integral of f of x dx equals, and whatever that equals, that's going to end up being our answer, and we're done. So let's go ahead and open up our calculator and get on to doing this, right? So again, you should have this, and this is why I like doing all this stuff in the graphing area. You should have this equation pretty much already set to go. The only thing we need to do now is put a parentheses around it and square it. And if you know your calculator like the back of your hand, you know that you can actually insert a parentheses here. So I hit second, insert. So I put a parentheses there because I just need to wrap this whole equation in a set of parentheses and square it. And so again, knowing the calculator well and how to use it saves you some time, and every little bit of time you save on the AP Calc test is time you can spend somewhere else. So we've got that into our Y1, and now we go to step 2. We graph this thing, and then once it's graphed, we're going to go ahead and hit second, calc. We'll choose that number 7 option in here, which is the integral of f of x dx. We'll hit enter on that. It's going to ask us for our lower limit. Well, our lower limit was -2, so we type in -2, hit enter. Our upper limit was that b value, that's the 0.781975. Type that in, hit enter. It colors it in for us, and then at the bottom of the screen, more importantly, it says the integral of f of x dx equals 5.340. And so normally on the AP Calc test, they kind of want everything to 3 decimal places. So this would be 5.340. So that is our final answer. You could set it equal to it over here. And then on this one, this is another problem that's worth 2 points. You would have gotten 1 point for setting up that integral properly, and you would have gotten another point for getting out the right answer. So now we've got 2 points from this question, 2 points from the previous, and then 3 points from the problem up above. So we got 7 of our 9 points all ready to go. And we'll finish up the last part, part D, in one more video following this one. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, please click that like button and subscribe. And also share it with your friends and anyone else you know who might be crying about an upcoming AP Calc test. You can find more videos from me, more sample AP Calc questions, and my complete AP Calc study guide over at my website, apcalcprep.com. Have a great one.